Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jared Powley's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight, we're going to be examining my most favorite and my most worn fragrance. This is Christian Dior Fahrenheit from 1988. This is an eau de toilette concentration, and the bottle I am holding is a vintage bottle between 1988 in 1990. I purchased this bottle off a gentleman in Spain for literally an arm and a leg. This cost me. In my lifetime, when I was in grade 7 and I was delivering newspapers, I saved up enough money to buy this fragrance around 1989, 1990. So it is very nostalgic to me because it was the first fragrance I ever purchased. The original bottle that I had of this is still probably somewhere in my parents' house. Maybe one day it will be found. Like I said, this is my favorite scent, and what makes this scent so interesting, and I did not know this at the time, but I know this now, this was the first fragrance in history that had an idea or concept behind it. And the concept was of burning. The initial burning of a fire, then the fire burning itself, like the mid-fire, and then the burning out of the fire and the embers twinkling away. So this fragrance also is very polarizing amongst people. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I think it is absolutely sensational. I think it is the greatest fragrance ever created, in my personal opinion. So along with this 1988 to 1990 vintage formulation, I also have one from about 2007. I also have one which is recent, about 2020. And I also have one that is about 2014, a massive 200 milliliter bottle. I've probably gone through possibly a dozen Fahrenheits in my lifetime. So I would consider myself somewhat of an expert on this fragrance because it is my most worn and most researched scent, especially when I was trying to find a vintage bottle. I'm just going to take this out and I'm going to give it one quick spray because of the fact that this is a 50 ml bottle and there's not much. I've only used a couple sprays, but it goes down quick. This is another thing about the vintage. There's the splash where there's no sprayer, but this is an old style sprayer. That's a dead giveaway that when there's a little bit of the white showing in the stem, there's a dead giveaway that it's an original formulation because a lot of knockoffs have the closed style of sprayer atomizer, which I'll just quickly show you so people know what I'm talking about with that atomizer. This is on when I say a closed formula like this, where there's no white stem seen, it's just closed black. So this one, I'm going to give it a quick spray. It's a mega sprayer. It's like a massive blast. So initially, you get this, I always get this sweet burning gasoline on leather, which is the most entrancing, intoxicating aroma I've ever smelled in my life. It's absolutely amazing. As it dries down, it becomes a little more like burning rubber, but you still have this undertone of this smooth, deep, powerful, leathery gasoline burning. Later on, it becomes a little more floral, still leathery. It has this burning, smoldering, gassy smell that is prevalent throughout the whole fragrance. A couple of things I want to mention about the formulations is that between 1988 and 1993, that particular formulation is one of the most counterfeited in fragrance history. This scent has gone under many reformulations. The original was from 1988 to 1993, then 93 to 2002, 2002 to 2006, 2007 to 2014, 2015 to 2020, and 2020 to 2022, and there was a 1993 limited edition. So there's 7 or 8 reformulations of this. So the current formulation is nothing even close to this. Nothing even close. And not only in smell, but especially depth and performance, which changes the smell. Also, I have found 4 different sets of notes for the fragrance, and I am not sure which one is from the original because they are vastly different. That's why you know it is not the same concoction as they changed the formulation. So I'm not even going to go into the notes because I am not sure my list of notes for which formulation it is from. Few last words on this fragrance. The performance is absolutely amazing. I got 12 to 16 hours from one spray, and this is a room filler. And what separates the vintage, the 1988 to 91, is that it is not a skin scent. You spray it, it just emanates. There's so much projection. So you may go to smell your skin and it's minimal, but everybody around you with about half an arm's length or maybe a foot and more can smell you very powerfully. So it is a beast. It's the ultimate beast in terms of fragrances from the 1980s that I have worn. Has nuclear power, huge scent wafts, huge scent trails, just the most awesome, spectacular, fantastic smell you can imagine. For what I like, it's unforgettable. It's unmatched by any other scent. There are some clones out there, but it still doesn't have the power, doesn't have the depth. And I have worn the vintage against the clones, and trust me, it is similar. But when you actually get your hands on a vintage bottle, I do not find it that much in terms of how close they are. But this fragrance is also unique and mesmerizing. So if this is your type of fragrance, if you can get your hands on it, it's going to cost you a lot of money, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So, like I said, the modern formulation is really not that close to this. You will get some remnants of the original DNA, and that's about as close as you're going to get. If you go back, I would say around the biggest change was in 2002. That was the first where the performance and everything started to die down and the smell started to dramatically change. And I do think that every batch is somewhat different, and then because there seemed to be a bit of a variation, and they will maybe water it down a little bit. So if they release a batch, there may be several other batches after the reformulation that will be less potent. So that's about all I have to say about this fragrance. That was quite a bit. And like I said, I was very excited to do this review because this is my number one. If you liked this video, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Any thoughts, questions, or experiences you have with this fragrance, leave it down below and I'll always get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.